Watch out for each other. Well, another story you'll only see right here on KSL. A Davis County search and rescue team member seriously injured while rappelling in Idaho this week. Well, he's now back up and walking around with a warning after taking a rock to the head.
And yeah, just made the choice not to wear the helmet. Even if you've done it 1,000 times, it just takes once, right? Just one time.
Brett Jensen volunteered to join the Follow the Flag group to Twin Falls, Idaho, to hang a large American flag across the Snake River Canyon. But a rock the size of a bowling ball fell nearly 20 feet and landed on his head. It cracked his skull, left him with a concussion, and broke a piece of his vertebrae. Jensen is expected to make a full recovery and wants to remind everyone, put on your helmet. Well, still to come, some new music out this.
KSL News at 10 starts now.
People want to give. It's just human nature. You find this cause that seems so compelling and you want to give. But if you look behind it, it's just smoke and mirrors.
Developing tonight, the CEO of a Utah nonprofit group dedicated to helping the victims of human trafficking arrested on more than 30 fraud-related charges. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Debbie Worthen. Dan Rascone has the night off. Those charges are the result of a months-long investigation by the Utah Attorney General's office. We have more on this developing story. We will get to those details in just a few minutes. But first, these charges are pretty extensive. And Brianna Chavez is following this for us. Brianna, what did you find out tonight?
Yeah, well, Debbie, there are 34 felony charges tonight that are being broken down in this police affidavit. KSL legal analyst Greg Skordas, who we spoke of, says that this is easily one of the lengthiest and most detailed probable cause statements he has ever seen.
There are literally dozens of charges. I mean, this case is huge.
KSL obtaining court documents that state Candace Leard, who also goes by Candace Rivera, allegedly, quote, engaged in a pattern of unlawful activity like theft, identity fraud, forgery, and unlawful conduct, just to name a few. Leard is the CEO of Exodus, an anti-human trafficking organization. Here she is speaking to KSL this year about her work fighting human trafficking during the NBA All-Star Game.
So think about those in socioeconomic difficulties, our foster care system, children who are 17, 18, 19.
She listed that her foundation was doing all this work for human trafficking when there's really not apparently much information that supports that. And this looks like an incredibly thorough investigation by the Attorney General's office, and it even went into other states.
Here is Candace again in 2020, speaking to KSL about her passport getting stolen.
When I came out in the morning, the passenger door was partially open, and my clutch that was on the passenger seat was gone.
Claiming she needed it in order to help get a child in Europe.
It's not about me. It's not. There are kids waiting, and I need to go get them.
According to a criminal affidavit, Candace allegedly obtained, quote, fraudulent passports for herself and others. That's just one of dozens of fraudulent charges she's facing. Also accused of misrepresenting herself as, quote, a licensed registered nurse, medical doctor, and nurse practitioner. Skordas believes, based on the charges against Leard, she could possibly be facing life in prison if convicted on all counts.
What's really concerning is that this woman is apparently engaged in quite a series of misdeeds, if you believe the probable cause statement, and she's raised something like $1.6 million in contributions.
Money that prosecutors believe may not be helping children in need. Something Skordas says is something donors should be very careful about.
And we've seen several just within the last several days. These are just beds of fraud, and the money that comes in from these sources is astronomical.
And Leard is currently being held in the Utah County Jail without bond. Debbie?
All right, Brianna, thank you for that report. And just hours ago, we received a statement from the Attorney General's office saying respond if that changes.
We hereby announce that Hadley's wish to Walt Disney World will be granted by Make-A-Wish Utah.
A touching night, new tonight, a 6-year-old girl battling brain cancer, overjoyed, learning she'd be taking a dream trip to Disneyland. The announcement made as part of a special event at tonight's international rugby match at America First Field between Team USA and a professional club from France. Team USA won that match 24-21, and after the match, thousands came down onto the pitch in attempt to break the world record for the largest ever rugby scrum. More on that tomorrow at 4 o'clock. And today, a very special